Comrades of the veterans of foreign wars, all rise.
It was a New York minute.
Veterans of foreign wars, attend, hut. Please join me in an opening salute to our colors. Present, arms. Order, arms. Comrade National Chaplain, would you lead us in our opening prayer? Parade, hist.
Good morning, Commander.
Uncover.
Good morning, VFW. Please join me in prayer as far as your faith and your traditions allow. Almighty God, we ask that you come to be with us today. Our business is important as we honor a few good people who have served the VFW well. We are blessed because of them. We also ask that you be with us as we nominate our officers for the 2022-2023 year. May they be the right people for the right jobs. We ask this for the greater good of all of our comrades. Amen.
Cover. Veterans of foreign wars of the United States, attend, hut. Comrades facing the flag of our nation, please join me in our Pledge of Allegiance. Present, arms. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Order, arms. Comrade Commander-in-Chief, that completes opening ceremonies for this session of the 123rd National Convention of the Veterans of Foreign Wars. National Sergeant, right, face, forward, march.
Thank you, Sergeant at Arms. Please be seated. I'd like to call on Betty Grip for the report of the Credentials Committee.
Good morning, Commander-in-Chief, Council members, and delegates, Arizona. The opening credentials report for the 123rd National Convention at the close of business 4 p.m. yesterday, July 19th, correction, 3 p.m. July 19th, 2022, the total delegates registering their credentials are 7,649. Department commanders, 48. Past commander-in-chief, 8. National officers, 10. Grand total, 7,754. Total registered at the 123rd National Convention is 1,722. That's my report, sir.
A few brief announcements. Any past commanders-in-chief in the room, please make your way to the podium. Service dog shout out to Service Dog Leonidas, and Service Dog Standard Poodle begins with an R, and I can't remember the rest of it, I apologize, but he was climbing all over me last night. Rory, there we go. Service Dog Rory, wonderful dog. How about that celebration last night? Everybody enjoy that? You know, Chapel Hart, I've known them for a couple of years, and they told you all that the America's Got Talent was playing, but they chose to be here with us because they made a commitment to veterans. I am pleased to announce that they got the Gold Buzzer Award last night on America's Got Talent. They are moving forward automatically. So I hope you all enjoyed that. Just remember, when they hit it big, you saw them here for the first time. It was really an exciting night. For those of you who didn't make it or who left early, well, you missed a great show, but they put their hearts into it. Chapel Hearts. With that, I need to go next door to say hello to our wonderful auxiliary, so I'm going to leave you in good stead with my friend, Senior Vice Commander-in-Chief, Tim Borland.
Ladies and gentlemen, Brian, please advance the Sergeant of Arms. There you go. Ladies and gentlemen, standing behind me are the elite, our VFW National Sergeant of Arms. I want to express my appreciation to this group of individuals who are often the first to arrive and the last to leave. Year after year, they do a superb job at assuring the order of our national meetings and events. It is now my privilege to introduce the National Sergeant of Arms, Brian Willett. Brian has been a member of the Sergeant of Arms since 2016. He is a Gold Life Legacy Life member of Post 3104 in South Hadley, Massachusetts. A 5-time All-American Post Commander, past All-American District Commander, and a past Department Judge Advocate. And he currently serves as our Department Sergeant of Arms. Brian retired from the United States Army as a Staff Sergeant. He completed his basic infantry and airborne training in 1983 and served with both the 24th Infantry Division and the 3rd Armored Division. Brian deployed to Bosnia in 2001 with the 29th Infantry Division in support of Operation Joint Forge. In 2010, he deployed to Afghanistan with the 86th Infantry Brigade Combat Team in support of Operation Enduring Freedom. His awards include the Purple Heart and the Combat Action Badge. I now call on the National Sergeant of Arms, Brian Willett, to introduce his team.
Thank you, Senior Vice Commander in Chief, for this honor. Joey Osman has been a member of the Sergeants at Arms for an astounding 26 years and is a Gold Legacy Life member of Gilbert, Minnesota Post 4456. She's also a life member of the Cloquet, Minnesota VFW Auxiliary to Post 3979. Joy is a past post and district commander and past district quartermaster. She served in both the Marine Corps and the Army and earned her VFW eligibility in Operation Desert Storm. She recently returned from a Peace Corps volunteer service in Swahili land. She is currently a lecturer at the Good Shepherd College of Health Sciences in Swahili land, through the virtual Peace Corps service. Next is Jim Galen, who's actually sick today in his room. Please keep him in your thoughts. He's doing okay, but please keep Jim in your thoughts. He's been a member of the Sergeants at Arms for 21 years and has been a life member of Post 6802 in Richmond, Michigan. He is a past All-State Post Commander and a past All-State Post Quartermaster. He served as a Post Quartermaster for 19 years and is a past District 5 Commander. Jim retired after 30 years of service from General Motors. Keith McDonald has been a member of the Sergeants at Arms for an also astounding 28 years and is a life member of Post 5867 in Lakeside, California. He retired from the United States Navy after more than 23 years as a Senior Chief Petty Officer. Keith is a past All-American Post and All-American District Commander and is currently serving as Quartermaster of Post 5867. Keith recently retired as a government contractor, supporting the DDG 51 class new construction program at the Naval Information Warfare Systems Command in San Diego. Outstanding. George Lott has been a member of the Sergeants at Arms team for 13 years. He is a Gold Legacy Life member, a past commander of the Lieutenant Robert A. Madden Post 10152 in Ogdensburg, New Jersey, and and a past New Jersey District 21 commander. He's a United States Army combat veteran and was a drill sergeant who taught basic training at Fort Dix, New Jersey, upon returning from Vietnam. George recently retired after 33 years as Department of New Jersey Sergeant at Arms. He was employed as a police officer in his hometown of Ogdensburg for 34 years and retired as chief in 2008. Outstanding. Next is Laura Land. Laura is a Gold Legacy Life member of the Benjamin O. Davis, Post 9191 in Killeen, Texas. She has been a member of the Sergeant at Arms since November 2016 and is a past All-State and All-American Post Commander. In 2015, Laura was named the first top commander in the state of Texas and was the first woman veteran to serve as a District 14 commander, where she achieved All-State and All-American honors. She serves as the Women's Veterans Chair for the Department of Texas from 2016 through 2018 and served as a National Aide-de-Camp from 2017 to 2018. In 2022, Laura Land was appointed to oversee the stand-up and operations of the first VFW post on the largest installation in the United States. The Command Sergeant Major A.C. Cotton VFW post 12209 in Fort Hood, Texas, which is the first VFW post allowed to open in the state of Texas on an active duty military installation. Laura was a sergeant in the United States Army, where she was a motor transport operator. She earned her VFW eligibility in Operation Desert Shield and Desert Storm with the 24th Infantry Division at Fort Stewart, Victory, and the Republic of Korea. Laura now devotes her time to her family and the veterans of foreign wars. Sherrod Nathan Conyers is a native of Marietta, Georgia, and is a Gold Legacy Life member of VFW Rainbow Post 2681. He currently serves as Georgia's District 1 Junior Vice Commander and has been a member of the Sergeants at Arms for 7 years. Sherrod's military career began after becoming a direct commissioned second lieutenant from the Tuskegee University's ROTC program into the United States Army. Sherrod earned his VFW eligibility with deployments to Jordan and Afghanistan during Operation Enduring Freedom and to Iraq during Operation Iraqi Freedom. During his 4 years of active duty in the military, he was promoted to the rank of captain. Sherrod is a life member of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated, a member of the 200 Corinthians Masonic Lodge, and was commissioned an Honorable Kentucky Colonel. He is currently an associate of Booz Allen Hamilton and serves as a full-time spouse and father. Rene Fuertes has been a member of the Sergeants at Arms since 2021. He's a life member of Post 3104 in South Hadley, Massachusetts, and a 3-time past commander of Post 3389 in Randolph, Massachusetts. He has received appointments as Assistant Inspector General, Special Aide-de-Camp. It was named the Massachusetts VFW Member of the Year for 2018 and 2022. He currently serves as a member of the State Honor Guard and as Department Assistant Sergeant at Arms. Rene completed boot camp in 1986 at the Naval Training Center in San Diego, California. He earned his VFW eligibility in Operation Uphold Democracy in 1994. And later deployed in support of Operation Enduring Freedom. He has received 3 Navy Achievement Medals and 2 Coast Guard Achievement Medals and the Coast Guard Meritorious Unit Commendation with Operational Distinguished Device. Rene retired from the United States Navy as a petty officer, 2nd class, and has been employed by the state of Massachusetts for over 31 years as an investigator. Todd Hokanson has been a member of the Sergeants at Arms for 1 year. He is a Gold Legacy Life member of the General Dwight D. Eisenhower VFW Post 3279 in Abilene, Kansas. He earned his eligibility in Operations Desert Shield and Desert Storm. Todd is a past 2-time All-State Captain Post Commander, a past 2-time All-American Post Commander, a past District 4 and past Department of Kansas Junior Vice Commander. He currently lives in Amarillo, Texas, where he took a promotion and transfer with the TSA. Todd retired from the United States Army as a first sergeant with over 24 years of service. He was a field artilleryman for 6 years and a military policeman for 18 years. He was deployed to Operation Desert Storm, Desert Shield, Bosnia, Operation Joint Guard, Korea, and Operation Iraqi Freedom in Iraq from 2003 to 2004, as well as 2006 to 2008. He was awarded several awards during his career, including the Legion of Merit and the Navy and Marine Corps Achievement Medal. He received several leadership awards, including the Major General Aubrey Red Newman Leadership Award. Thank you very much.
Let's give another warm applause to our National Sergeant of Arms. The following past commanders-in-chiefs attending this convention are, please stand to be recognized. Unable to be with us today is R.D. Bulldog Smith from Georgia, 1976 to 77. 1988 to 1989, Larry W. Williams from Rivers from Louisiana. Sorry about that, Larry. 1989 and 1990, Walter G. Hogan from Wisconsin. 1991 and 1992, Robert E. Wallace, New Jersey. 1995 to 1996, Paul A. Spera, Massachusetts. 1996 to 1997, James E. Nair, Texas. 1997 to 98, John E. Moon, Ohio. 1998 to 1999, Thomas A. Pouliot, Montana. 2003 to 2004, Edward S. Banis Sr., Connecticut. 2005 to 2006, James Mueller, Missouri. 2007 to 2008, George J. Lisicki, New Jersey. 2008 to 2009, Glenn M. Gardner, Texas. 2010 to 2011, Richard L. Eubank, Oregon, and now resides in California. 2011 to 2012, Richard L. Denoyer, Massachusetts. 2012 to 2013, John E. Hamilton, Florida. 2013, 2014, William A. Thine, Indiana. 2014, 2015, John W. Stroud, Nevada. 2019, 2020, William Doc Smith, New York. 2021, as you were, 2020, 2021, Harold Hale Roach, Virginia. I will now read the nominations for National Home Board of Trustees. There are 4 nominations for District 6, for the 2022 to the 2028 term. Representing Kentucky, Louisiana, Mississippi, Missouri, and Tennessee. Marilyn Archuleta has been a VFW National Home Life member since October of 2014. She is endorsed by VFW Department of Missouri. Michael D. Rue has been a VFW National Home Life member since October of 2019. He is endorsed by the Department of Tennessee. Rebecca Wishmeyer has been a VFW National Home Life member since August of 1989. She is endorsed by the VFW Department of Missouri Auxiliary. Archuleta Butler has been a VFW National Home Life member since August 2013. She is endorsed by VFW Department of Mississippi and the VFW Department of Mississippi Auxiliary. There are 4 nominations for District 10 for the 2022-2028 term, representing Arkansas, New Mexico, Oklahoma, and Texas. Michael Ford Day has been a VFW National Home Life member since September of 1998. He is endorsed by the VFW Department of Texas. Shirley Frias is currently serving as an interim trustee and has been a VFW National Home Life member since 2000. She is endorsed by the VFW Department of New Mexico Auxiliary. Ron Spodlin has been a VFW National Life member since February of 2013. He is endorsed by the Department of Texas. Sean Elis has been a VFW National Home Life member since July of 2017. He is endorsed by the Department of Texas. Let's give them a round of applause for their appointments and endorsements. I guess we're still waiting on the chief. Now to announce the 2022 National Buddy Poppy Contest winners is Lynn Wolf, Director of Programs.
Good morning, comrades. First of all, to follow up on Commander Chief Fritz Michalczyk's statements, I really want to thank you for showing your passion last night for our country. But I want to throw an extra shout out to the Department of Missouri, specifically Quincy Myrick and her team of volunteers that really pulled off an incredible march. And I know I got it. That was a long death march for many of us. Without a question, one of the most recognizable symbols around the world is the VFW Buddy Poppy. To the VFW and its VFW Auxiliary, it signifies the remembrance and commemoration of our fallen brothers and sisters in arms. And it reminds us of our duty and responsibility to our nation's living veterans. For decades, VFW members have distributed the Revered Buddy Poppy to well over 3 million citizens in our great country. Today, we take a few moments to honor and recognize those passion and creativity that have taken the Buddy Poppies to the next level. These are individuals and posts and auxiliaries who have used our Buddy Poppies in the creation of exceptional and inspiring works of art and displays. Hopefully each one of you have taken just a moment of your time to go out and visit them and see the meaning of each incredibly powerful display. This year's entries were judged by the National VFW Programs Committee Chairman Renee Simpson, accompanied by committee members Cheryl Campos, Ginger Graham, Dewey Hermanson, Don Pettlejohn, Erica Traxler, Christine Tron, and Donna Ralston, the 21-22 Auxiliary Buddy Poppy VFW National Ambassador, and the 22-23 Auxiliary Buddy Poppy National Home Ambassador. Designate Kathy Farley. These displays were judged on effectiveness, clarity, theme, suitability, originality, beauty, and the number of poppies used. And now to announce the 2022 winners, and you'll see up on the screens. Category 1, for the promotion of a Buddy Poppy campaign. Honorable mention goes to Hugo Matejek Post 3723 and its auxiliary in Owatonna, Minnesota. Third place is James Jarrett Brown Post 8385 and its auxiliary in Kings Bay, Georgia. Second place is the VFW auxiliary to the West Brazos Post 8551 in Sweeney, Texas. And first place is the VFW auxiliary to the Isidore Hone Post 7397 right here in Lenexa, Kansas. Category 2 for the use of poppies in memorial and inspirational display. Honorable mention goes to the Hometown Murray Post 9773 and its VFW auxiliary. Third place goes to the VFW auxiliary to the Roanoke Memorial Post 5074, Roanoke, Texas. Second place, Browerville Post 8391 and its VFW auxiliary, Browerville, Minnesota. First place, Gandy Brown Post 4588 and its VFW auxiliary in Bossier City, Louisiana. Category 3 for the artistic and decorative use of Buddy Poppies. Honorable mention goes to the Patterson Memorial Post 12182 and its VFW auxiliary in Patterson, Louisiana. Third place, VFW auxiliary to the Derry Memorial Post 1617, Derry, New Hampshire. Second place, VFW auxiliary to the Santa Fe Post Trail 846, also right here in Kansas City, Overland Park, Kansas. First place, VFW auxiliary to the Roanoke Memorial Post 5074, Roanoke, Texas. And last but certainly not least, my Director's Award is given the Buddy Poppy display that in my opinion, most creative and effectively represents the intent of the Buddy Poppy program. And it fits right in line with our brand new program to recognize our military war dogs and their service. From the General MacArthur Memorial Post 3972 in its VFW auxiliary, Virginia Beach, Virginia. For this year's silent auction, we had 36 departments and 10 individual donors that donated items and many reflection on their home states and commonwealths. For more than 20 years, this auction has raised money for issues that are close to our hearts and minds. Everyone knows that I bleed the VFW programs daily. And to announce that all the funds raised this year will benefit our incredibly impactful VMS programs. As you know, Unmet Needs, Help a Hero Scholarship, and our Military Assistance Program and Adopted Unit. I'm very proud to announce, Chief, that we raised, as a family, nearly $8,000. Thank you, comrades. Another big supporter of our VMS programs. If we have riders out in the audience, please stand up. Yep. For all of you comrades that participated in our annual Vanderklut pilgrimage to our national convention, thank you so very much. These riders are the tip of the spear for community service within our posts. Thank you for what you do every day, and I'm proud to announce, Chief, if you could come up. Our VFW riders have raised $23,743. Thank you, riders.
Hey, Lynn, you want this? For more than a century, VFW posts all over the world have been steadfastly supporting their local communities. From food and clothing drives for those in need, to Veterans Day ceremonies and service projects that provide emergency disaster reliefs in times of need. Our dedication to improving the lives of those around us is evident in the nearly $26 million donated annually to local community service projects and the more than 3 million hours of volunteerism VFW members spend giving back each year. The VFW Posts I'm about to introduce understands just how much local communities rely on us times of crisis. In late August 2021, Hurricane Ida made landfall in southern Louisiana, tearing through wastelands of Louisiana located just an hour outside of New Orleans. Tearing down power and communication lines, Hurricane Ida left destruction, homelessness, and soggy spirits in its wake. Despite not having electricity or running water, VFW Post 3665 opened its doors to those in need, even acting as a staging facility for donated food and supplies before they were distributed to veterans and families in need. It's the ability to face bad situations with determination and tireless work like that of the members of VFW Post 3665, which truly showcase why no one does more for veterans than the veterans of foreign wars. Please join me in giving a big round of applause to the 2022 Fred C. Hall Memorial Outstanding Post Special Project Award winner, Freddie John Falkett of Post 3665. Accepting the award on behalf of the Post is Commander James Prestonbach.
Good morning, fellow comrades, distinguished guests. It is truly an honor to receive the Fred C. Hall Award on behalf of our post members of Freddie John Falgout Post 3665. Of course, this is not possible without VFW Post across Louisiana, the nation, and other veterans organizations. I would definitely like to give shouts out to the Post and the organizations who was truly instrumental in assisting our post and our community with this disaster. Post 12, 182, Patterson, Louisiana. Post 3619, DeRidder, Louisiana. Past Commander Joshua Morgan. The Combat Veterans Motorcycle Association, Chapter 6, Louisiana, and 20, Florida. And of course, the ones who adopted us, Pascagoula Post 3373 out of Mississippi. We will never forget you. Thank you, and no one does more for veterans.
Ric Flair, ladies and gentlemen. For those of you who regularly attend the National Convention, the next presentation will certainly come as no surprise, especially since I'm from the Department of Arizona. For 55 consecutive years, the members of the Department of Arizona have come together as a team to increase VFW membership throughout the Grand Canyon State. What this department has accomplished is truly remarkable. I commend every member of the Department of Arizona for their years of devotion and tireless efforts that have gone into reaching this meritorious achievement yet again. Now, in honor of their hard work and dedication, I would like to call on Larry Williams, immediate past Department Commander of Arizona, to accept this consecutive years of membership growth citation. Congratulations to all the Department of Arizona.
Certificate of Commendation awarded to Department of Arizona in recognition of the remarkable achievement of 55 consecutive years of membership sustained by a department of the Veterans of Foreign Wars of the United States, in witness whereof we have hereunto set our hands and the official seal of the Veterans of Foreign Wars of the United States, this 20th day of July, 2022, signed by Matthew Fritz Mahelchik, Commander-in-Chief, and Kevin Jones, Adjutant General.
56!
Yes.
56!
Comrades, I know I'm honored of the 55 consecutive years that the Department of Arizona has conducted in membership growth. In memory of past Commander-in-Chief Alan Gunnar Kent and all the comrades before me, before I got involved in the year of 2000 with the Department of Arizona, I have ensured him and them that this streak will never die as long as I'm alive. We will continue this streak as long as we can because, by God, I am only 60 years young and I was 5 years old when that streak started. If any of you can relate, you would not let that streak die if you were in my shoes. I have just been given the thumbs up. Bob is our Commander-in-Chief back, Bob Wallace. I don't know. Yes, there he is. He's coming back in the hall. 55 years. What an accomplishment. As you all know, COVID forced us to put many things on hold over the last couple of years. Medical procedures, weddings, and the presentation of our next award. For this, please welcome to the stage past National Commander-in-Chief Doc Smits.
First, I got to take out my extensive notes here. Well, comrades, as we all know, there was a heck of a lot of stuff that was missed because of COVID, and that really stinks. One thing I learned over the travels and stuff, I traveled all over the world as chief, and I met tons of people, very impressive people. There were two, however, that stuck out and stood out that were just awesome. One was in Israel. A doctor invented a chip that goes in a prosthesis in the leg, and they do a video thing, and basically it helps the individual get a normal gait when they walk, which was tremendous. He shared that information with the Veterans Administration in the United States because of our contacts with him. The VFW people talked to him and talked to the VA, they talked to each other, and now many, many people are helped. Then I had the opportunity to go to a place called Du Bois, Wyoming. And it was a function of the department. The commander had assigned me there. And we were going to this museum. It was a vehicle war museum type thing with a whole bunch of vehicles and equipment. And I thought, yeah, okay. Well, there was this guy who toured us around, told us all this stuff. He knew more about tanks and military equipment, history, the economy that caused the wars, et cetera, et cetera. He showed us this safe. The only other safe in the world as big as this safe is in the Smithsonian Institute. It had every handheld weapon of war that existed. And I said, you gotta be kidding me. This guy, I said, this guy's gotta have a photographic memory. Nobody could know as much information as this man knew. And it turned out he was the guy that made the museum happen. His name was Dan Starks. He was originally from Buffalo, New York. This guy and his family own a lot of tanks. So guess what? Be nice to them because they're all operational. I mean, and his wife, I'm telling you, dynamic. She is one heck of a sharpshooter when it comes to revolvers, so be advised. She did something for the community. Their family's entrenched in the community. She built a bowling alley and a bakery because the kids in the community she felt didn't have anything to do. And on and on. She's involved with her daughter in sponsoring programs to help kids to make sure that when they have their senior parties and stuff, that their keys are in one place and they're in one place and everybody has a good time and nobody gets in trouble. His whole family is devoted to veterans and community. It's unbelievable. I'd like to thank the current administration. I don't know, is the chief back? Not yet? The current administration for allowing this to happen. And was he up here yet? Starks? Oh, there you are. Come on up here. Commander, you got to help me up with this. This is one. This is one of his museum grand opening got screwed up too because of COVID. He invited me to his museum, and let me tell you something. I've been to the Smithsonian, I've been Fort Knox for their museum, and I've been to this guy's museum. And from what I've seen, I'm telling you, if you want to go see stuff, go to his museum in Du Bois. It is phenomenal. There is a section there for the Chosen Frozen. Since I was there to start with, the improvements were made. You can see snow coming down over these mannequins with the equipment, and the Vietnam section actually has booby traps in it. And helicopters with the sounds and the visuals, you can see choppers going over your head while you're walking through this one section. It's a little bit freaky, but it's real good. And what does this do for veterans? Let me tell you something. You know how it was like when you had your M16 or whatever, it was like part of your body. Well, all of this equipment triggered in me, different remembrances of different things that occurred to me while I was in the military. Some really good, some funny, and some were really bad and really not good. But I tell you what, this guy and his family and his community are outstanding. And I want to present to him a national award in recognizing this gentleman for all the good stuff he does for veterans and their family. He's one phenomenal son of a gun, and I cleaned that up.
Commander-in-Chief, Gold Medal of Merit and citation awarded to Dan Starks, founder, National Museum of Military Vehicles, in special recognition and sincere appreciation of his outstanding dedication and sharing U.S. military history through the stories of historic military vehicles and the heroes inside, and for his unwavering perseverance in achieving success in creating the National Museum of Military Vehicles. From honoring the service and sacrifice of our veterans and their families to preserving and sharing America's rich military history, the National Museum of Military Vehicles reminds visitors of the true cost of ensuring freedom for all, an endeavor held in the highest regard of the veterans of foreign wars of the United States. In witness whereof, we have hereunto set our hands in the official seal of the veterans of foreign wars of the United States this 20th day of July, 2022, signed by William J. Doc Schmitz, past Commander-in-Chief, 2019-2020, and Kevin Jones, Adjutant General.
I'm not the smartest guy in the room, but I'm going to guess that most of you have never heard of our museum and are looking at each other and saying, what? It's because we're new. We just finished our construction in May. We just had our grand opening on Memorial Day weekend. We did a partial opening in August of 2020. We had 40,000 visitors last year without any marketing while we're still in construction. And it's become clear that even though we're new, we're doing something special. We have something special. It's not about the museum at all. It's about you, and it's about what you've done, and it's about your personal histories and your stories. To give you an idea of how your stories are resonating with the civilian American public, we're open for 4 months in 2020. We get recognized as one of the 10 best new attractions in the entire country. We have 40,000 visitors last year while we're still under construction. Those 40,000 visitors provided feedback that resulted in us being recognized as in the top 10% of attractions in the entire world. Now, what's that about? It's all about our telling civilians and telling paying tribute to you and to your families, just telling them your stories. People act like we've invented the wheel, like it's the hottest thing since sliced bread. Who knew? There's such a strong disconnect between so many American civilians and the American veteran community. We're working to bridge that disconnect. All we're doing is we're telling people like me who did not serve, all we're doing is we're saying, did you know what Americans have done and what Americans are still doing? As we tell your stories to the best of our ability, people cry. They get choked up. They think about it for days afterwards. They send us emails days afterwards, and they talk about what an impact the experience they had, learning about your histories, learning about what you did, have had on them. What I want to particularly do, I want to say a little bit of a shout out. We talk about the stories of Americans who served in World War II. We talk about the stories of Americans who served in the Korean War, but I particularly want to talk about a little bit about those of you who served in the Vietnam War. In our museum, we make sure everybody who visits our museum knows you got a raw deal, that you weren't treated the way you deserved to be treated in your time of service and when you came home. We make sure they know about your exposure to Agent Orange. We make sure that they know not only were you exposed to Agent Orange and were you then gaslighted, stonewalled, left on your own for as long as you were, but these kinds of things are still happening with Gulf War syndrome, with burn pit fumes, and we're telling people, we're raising awareness. We're not the ones that are going to advocate the way that this organization advocates for you every day, but we're raising awareness so that when you're advocating for your colleagues and you're advocating for yourselves, there's a larger and larger groundswell of American civilians who are nodding their heads and they're saying, that's not right. And they're saying what you did is just unfathomable. What you did in your service is unfathomable and brings them to tears, and they will forever remember and forever honor you. That's what we're doing in our part of Minnesota, in our part of Wyoming. And I want to thank all of you. I did not serve, as I said earlier. I want to thank all of you for keeping me free, for keeping me safe, for keeping my family safe, for keeping my community safe, for keeping the United States of America safe. I'll be forever indebted to you. I pay my debts. I'll spend the rest of my life doing what I can to give back to all of you and to your families who serve the United States of America. Thank you.
It's now my privilege to introduce a gentleman who represents a company with decades of experience in helping caregivers optimize the health of their patients and communities. Cerner Corporation, recently acquired by Oracle, has merged the worlds of IT and healthcare, and in 2018 signed on with the Department of Veterans Affairs to modernize the electronic health record of VA, allowing easier access to higher quality health care for our veterans and simplifying the patient experience. Appointed as president of CEO of Cerner on October 1st, 2021, Dr. David Feinberg is a proven leader in the healthcare field. He remains driven by the passion and leverage technology and enable providers to deliver the best clinical care, and he stands poised to prioritize quality outcomes in healthcare today more than ever before. Please welcome our esteemed guest, Dr. David Feinberg.
Hey, thanks, Tim, for that warm introduction, and good morning to all of you. I have three things I want to talk about today. The first is I want to introduce myself and why this mission that we're on with the Department of Defense, with the Coast Guard, and the VA is so personal and important to me. I then want to explain actually what we're doing, and then I want to give you a glimpse of the future. So let me start with me. I'm a doc. My wife's a doctor. We have two kids, Rachel and Ryan. Rachel just turned 30. She's our oldest. And Andrea and I, my wife, both trained at VAs. They're now called the Greater Los Angeles VA, but I was at what was then the Brentwood VA. I'm trained in psychiatry. And Andrea was at the Wadsworth VA. And we would take call, sleeping over in the hospital the same night, because when you're newly married, if you're on call on different nights, you actually never see each other. So we would share a bed, a single bed, in the psychiatry emergency room call room while Andrea was pregnant with our daughter Rachel. So the three of us, or two and a half of us, really became a family, personally and professionally, by working at the VA. There's a particular patient that I will never forget. So I'm new in psychiatry, and this new patient that I get is a woman, a veteran, who's acutely suicidal and has a long history of alcoholism. And she's homeless. This is about 30 years ago to the day. I'm not sure as a doc how I'm going to help her. And I feel in a lot of ways she reminds me of my mom. She happens to be the mother of three boys, and I'm the middle of three boys. I worked my heart out doing the best I could for her. She got discharged, and I walked by her room after she had left the clinic, left the inpatient unit, and on her bed was her blue book from 12 Steps. And I was so upset that she had left it. I picked up the book, and actually she had left it intentionally as a gift for me. I still have that book today, and I want to thank all of you for allowing Andrea, myself, and all the other physicians in the United States who train at VAs for allowing us to understand how important caring is and having the privilege to care for our veterans. So now let me describe what we're doing at Oracle Cerner. We're installing the largest electronic health record that's ever been done in the world. What does that mean? When you go to the doctor and they're looking at that computer and they're trying to find your colonoscopy, or they're entering information, or they're asking you for the 20th time, do you have allergies, or are you still taking that medication, they're using software. That medical software is being replaced. It's already been completed through the whole Department of Defense, Coast Guard. It's about 50% with the DoD, and we're about at number 5 or 6 in the VA installation. It'll take us another couple years, and when we're done, whether you're being recruited, whether you're in active duty, whether you go for care in the community or get your care, some or all of your care at the VA, you'll never be asked again about information because it will flow seamlessly back and forth in one installation across all of those systems. There'll be no more carrying records. There'll be no more asking for CDs of a scan that you had. We, those that care in the VA, the DoD, and the Coast Guard, will have at their fingertips everything about your care so that they can provide higher quality care that's more equitable and safer. That's what we're doing right now. But let me tell you about the future. My previous job, I was running healthcare for Google. And one of our projects was in the United Kingdom to try to make care more predictive or proactive. So we worked with a couple hospitals over there. They happened to be using the software Cerner that I'm part of now. And what we were trying to do was decrease the time that the team in the hospital responsible for patients could diagnose acute kidney injury. A lot of folks who get admitted to the hospital may be admitted for something else, but if their kidneys fail, there's a very, very high mortality. Up to 25% of people can die from kidney failure. And if you don't die, oftentimes you end up on dialysis. So the hospitals we were working with were normally diagnosing acute kidney injury about 4 hours after it occurred. So we developed an app that we gave the nurses and the doctors that are part of that rapid response team in the hospital an ability to try to diagnose it sooner. And the only thing the app did was tell those doctors and nurses if a patient's creatinine, a blood level that looks at kidney function, increased. Just creatinine. By giving that signal on the phone that they were carrying, the time to diagnose acute kidney injury went from 4 hours to 14 minutes. 30% less patients had cardiac arrest, and there was a 17% decrease in the cost of care. So it was pretty effective to take this ability to get somebody a lab value quicker. And then this is what we did. We took that same algorithm, and in partnership with the VA, we looked at de-identified records of 60,000 patients in the VA, and each patient we fed to the computer over 700,000 different medical components, like their creatinine went up. But instead of just creatinine, 60,000 patients times 700,000 variables per patient, and said to the computer, can you diagnose acute kidney injury now faster than typically 4 hours, 14 minutes when we got that creatinine level to the nurses? And the computer came back with something that's completely mind-blowing. 48 hours, 2 days, before any clinical signs or symptoms, no changes in lab values, no changes in the person's physical exam, the computer, by looking at VA records, was able to predict acute kidney injury, who would end up on dialysis, with 90% accuracy, 48 hours before any human could have figured it out. So as we install this electronic health record across the VA, the DoD, and the Coast Guard, the goal is not only to make it easier for you to get care and it's more convenient and you don't have to carry records and you won't get tested again because the doctor can't find the test that you already had. It also sets the foundation for an ability to move into a new area of medicine of anticipatory care, predicting things before they happen. In this particular example, with the VA, being able 2 days in advance to start thinking about a patient, and what we can do to decrease them ending up on dialysis. So I'm here today, Oracle Cerner is here today, personally to thank you for allowing me to develop my skills as a clinician. When I got called last October to think about this Cerner opportunity, the VA installation was one of the major reasons that I said yes. Because much like Dan said before, I want to give back. I want to thank all of you for your service. I want to thank you for the ability to allow us to have the opportunity to make your lives easier when you're getting health care, either in active duty or when you're done. And finally, I look forward to joining all of you on figuring out ways to make care more proactive, more equitable, and safer, not only for people in the military and active duty and retired, but we will learn from this so it makes the entire world safer. Thank you very much.
Bear with me. We have an award to present Commander-in-Chief Miheljic, but he's not on stage as of yet. It's an honor and privilege to introduce the recipient of the VFW Beyond the Call Award, Patriotic Division. Gina Elias is a founder of Pinups for Vets, a nonprofit that since its inception in 2006 has committed to raising funds to improve veterans' health care, delivering care packages to America's wounded warriors, and lifting the morale of our troops. You all may be most familiar, however, with the organization's annual calendar, which gives a nostalgic nod to the era of the pinup girls from World War II who boosted morale for America's soldiers fighting overseas. Thanks to Gina's efforts, well over $100,000 in state-of-the-art rehabilitation equipment has been donated to the Veterans Affairs and military facilities nationwide. And more than 1,500 ill and injured veterans have received a special morale-boosting visit from Gina and her team. Her allegiance and devotion to America's heroes has earned Gina and Pinups for Vets the utmost admiration and appreciation of the veterans of foreign wars of the United States. It brings me great pleasure to present the VFW's Beyond the Call Award to Gina Elias.
Beyond the Call Award, Patriotic Division and Citation, awarded to Gina Elias, founder, Pinups for Vets, and special recognition and sincere appreciation of her outstanding commitment and dedication to honoring America's veterans and service members. Through her nonprofit organization, Pinups for Vets, her diverse endeavors serve to support the mental and physical well-being of America's best here at home and around the world. From her efforts in providing much-needed rehabilitation equipment to those injured in our country's wars, to making personal visits to them as they work to recover. She continues to make a positive impact on the lives of veterans, service members, and their families every day. This effort and dedication has justly earned her the utmost respect and gratitude of the veterans of foreign wars of the United States, in witness whereof we have hereunto set our hands and the official seal of the veterans of foreign wars of the United States this 20th day of July, 2022, approved by the National Council of Administration, signed by Matthew Fritz Miheljic, Commander-in-Chief, and Kevin Jones, Adjutant General.
Good morning, VFW.
Good morning.
My name is Gina Elise, and I am so honored to have been selected to receive the Beyond the Call Award. So history is being made today because I am fairly sure that since the VFW was established, this is the first time you have bestowed a national award on a civilian pinup girl. You may be wondering if the nominating committee had just returned a little too happy from happy hour when they came up with my nomination, but I will explain to you why Pinups for Vets, the nonprofit that I founded 17 years ago, was recognized for the work we do to support our nation's veterans, service members, and military spouses. I stand here today in Kansas City, 193 miles from Lincoln Army Airfield in Nebraska, and 80 years since my grandfather first arrived at that air base to serve in World War II, where it was his responsibility to help manage the health care and medications of all of the B-17 and B-24 pilots and aviation mechanics who were training there for combat. With the grandfather involved in the health care of our troops, and those World War II bombers being decorated with beautiful pinup nose art, it should come as no surprise that many years later, in 2006, I would create a 1940s-style pinup fundraiser calendar to benefit hospitalized veterans. Because Pinups for Vets is a very creative project to support our heroes, I wanted to create a poem to tell you a little bit more about it. I'm inspired by VFW to do what I do, so it's with gratitude today that I'm here to thank you. We improve VA healthcare just like you've done by donating rehab equipment that is quite next to none, making things better for our female vets, featuring them in our calendars with never any regrets. VFW honors troops no matter how far they roam, and we ship thousands of gifts to heroes serving very far from home. VFW shows gratitude and so much more, just as we have visited 15,000 vets on our VA hospital tour. Serving our communities is why VFW is so swell. We also help homeless vets to make them feel well. Helping families of vets to improve their daily lives, we have done morale-boosting makeovers on Gold Star spouses and caretaker wives. VFW stands for patriotism. From 1899 to 2022, our pinups travel far and wide while saluting the red, white, and blue. So on this special day, as I appear before you all, I gratefully accept this award and will work beyond the call. Thank you.
Hey everybody, I'm back. Let's give a big hand to Senior Vice Tim for taking over for me. Thank you, Tim. I'm going to flip a few pages here, as some of our speakers are not here yet, so bear with me one moment. Maybe more than a moment. Peter Hook. This one? This one. Okay, great. We've got a book. We're supposed to follow the book. He told me where to follow the book. Like I said before, you listen to the experts. Okay. At this time, we will have a presentation by past National Chaplain Peter Hook to me. Good morning.
The Chapel of Four Chaplains in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania is pleased to present the Legion of Honor Humanitarian Award to our Commander-in-Chief, Matthew Fritz Michalczyk. In recognition, Chief, of your exceptional lifetime of service to all people, especially veterans, this award is given in honor of the 4 chaplains and their selfless, heroic acts aboard the USAT Dorchester on February 3rd, 1943. Chief Michalczyk, your leadership, your numerous acts of volunteerism and selfless service have been a model and inspiration to those of us in this great organization. Congratulations, Chief.
I accept that on behalf of all of you, because I've just been at the head of the team, but it is you who have provided that selfless sacrifice and the humanitarianism that is a hallmark of what we as veterans of foreign wars do. I get the gongs, you do the work, so I accept that on your behalf. Thank you. Our next guest represents a company that is well known to the VFW for their continued support and generosity toward America's service members and veterans. A company whose namesake rifle is one of the most legendary, respected, and sought after in the history of firearms, crafted under the motto, "Made in America or not made at all." It's not surprising that Henry Repeating Arms is dedicated to America's veterans and keeping jobs here on American soil. If you haven't had the opportunity to check out their limited edition VFW tribute, I apologize, folks. I know someone out there on Facebook is saying the chief can't speak, but that's social media. If you haven't had the opportunity to check out their limited edition VFW tribute rifles, you should. After merging world-renowned craftsmanship with a deep sense of patriotism, you're left with an eye-catching, beautifully crafted rifle that would be a gem in any gun owner's collection. Henry Repeating Arms is currently celebrating 25 years of service to our nation's firearms enthusiasts, and we're happy to celebrate this momentous occasion alongside them. It gives me great pleasure to introduce Mr. Andy Wickstrom, President of Henry Repeating Arms. Sir?
Good morning, veterans of foreign wars, your families, and friends, and distinguished guests. It's an honor to be standing here in front of you today. Thank you for all of you for serving, and for those who are serving, your sacrifices. We are forever indebted to you. Henry Repeating Arms has been a longtime supporter of organizations that take care of our veterans, and no one does it better than the VFW. We believe in the VFW's mission and vision and respect its extraordinary accomplishments. And on behalf of the employees of Henry Repeating Arms, in celebration of our silver anniversary and in memory of those who have sacrificed their lives for our freedoms, I am proud to present the VFW with a donation in the amount of $50,000 as part of our Guns for Great Causes program. God bless you, and God bless America.
Flexibility is the key to air power, and indecision, whichever you prefer. Since founding our nation, more than 3 million women have served in our military. Through their patriotism, dedication, selfless service, courage, and sacrifice, these sisters in arms stand side by side with their brothers in defense of our Constitution, our freedoms, and our nation. It is only fitting that at the gateway of Arlington National Cemetery, a memorial honoring the service of our military women stands next to those who gave their last full measure of devotion in service to our country. I am pleased to have the Military Women's Memorial Community Engagement Manager here to speak with us today. A native of Fort Wayne, Indiana, LaCrissa Parker joined the Army Reserves in 1990. After 8 years of reserve service, she joined the Active Guard Reserve program and worked as a non-commissioned officer in charge at the company and battalion level, gathering several additional duties along the way. At her final duty station at Fort Belvoir, Virginia, LaCrissa served as the Rear Detachment Sergeant, where she was responsible for more than 300,000 soldiers for the Army Reserves and coordinated troops with the regular Army for deployments. With 8 duty stations and 28 years of service, she retired as a Master Sergeant in September 2018. She then went on to compete in the 2019 Ms. Veteran America competition, earning a top 10 finalist spot along with awards for Top Talent Showstopper and Top Evening Gown She Wears It Well. An accomplished veteran and leader, please join me in welcoming to our 123rd National Convention the Community Engagement Manager for the Military Women's Memorial, retired Army Master Sergeant LaCrissa Parker. Ladies and gentlemen, Ms. Parker.
Well, good morning, everyone. I am so happy to be here. Well, I don't even know who he was talking about. Thank you, Commander. I appreciate the warm welcome, and thank you, VFW and Sisters and Brothers in Arms. I bring greetings to you from the Military Women's Memorial, and our President, CW5, Phyllis Wilson, was going to make the journey, but we had some emergencies at the Military Women's Memorial, and she brings greetings to you, sir. And I'll read just a little bit of what she said. National Commander-in-Chief Mihilchak, I extend to you and all attendees my sincerest greetings on the 123rd National Convention for the VFW. I wish that it were possible for me to accept the cordial invitation you extended earlier this year to attend the convention, and I sincerely regret that I am unable to be present in person. I know all deeply appreciate the sense of camaraderie enjoyed by the military units in the VFW post. The team at the Military Women's Memorial is just 26 strong, and over the past 2 weeks, 2 of our key staff members suffered losses of immediate family members. In serving, our tight-knit team needs my presence we cope with 2 losses so close. Having served in both Iraq and Afghanistan, I am a lifetime member of the VFW, and I, like you, the team and the Military Women's Memorial, epitomize the value of good citizenship, love of a country, and support for strong national defense. While we continue to have men and women deployed around the globe, I know we can count on the VFW to assist, as it is always and always have done, in maintaining and defending those true American principles of freedom, tolerance, justice, humanity, which are all part of the priceless heritage. I congratulate you upon the great progress the organization has made and send my best wishes to all. Very sincerely yours, Fearless Wilson, CW5, U.S. Army retired, President of the Military Women's Memorial. The Military Women's Memorial is located in Arlington National Cemetery. We are the beautiful wall that some bypass us when we go and visit our loved ones in Arlington National Cemetery, and we are forgotten about most of the time. If you make that journey to Washington and thought maybe I'll go visit the Women's Memorial, please, it sits on hollow grounds. We are a 501c3, and we appreciate your love and support. Our very own Emeritus Brigadier General Wilma Vaughn, 92 years young, and she still comes to work. That's a yes. She made it happen. She had this idea of telling women stories, to sharing the stories of women, all that have donned the uniform and those that have supported. It is our mission at the Military Women's Memorial is to educate, to honor, and to continue to serve. As we do that, it is our honor up here as I have my sisters in arms, as well as our ambassadors from the different states, Hawaii, Indiana, and Massachusetts stand with me. We are 3 million strong of women that have served and alongside of, that don the uniform, and many have not registered their service. So I'll ask you today, and it is our call to action, with those women that have served and charter members, would you please stand so we can give you a round of applause? Those women, please keep standing. And my sisters that have registered at the Military Women's Memorial, please stand. All of those that have sisters, mothers, aunts, grandmothers, please stand, that have served in uniform, please stand. We need you to register their story. Without telling her story, history will be lost. We need you as brothers in arms as well, as members and also friends of the memorial, to tell your story as well as your sisters or those women that have served. We are located again in Arlington National Cemetery in the entranceway and ceremonial entranceway. We have now registered 320,000 women in our database. But that's not enough. That's not enough because we still need your story. every woman, we hold the puzzle. We hold the puzzle, and many women are missing from that puzzle. I'm calling you to make sure you register your service. Make sure you register your grandmother or your sister or your aunt, their service. I will tell you, it is an honor to serve. 28 years. It is an honor to stand here before you, to be sisters and brothers in arms. I appreciate you. I thank you for this time, sir. If you can, go to womensmemorial.org and register your service. womensmemorial.org and register your service. Hashtag tell her story. Her story. Her story. Can you say it with me? Her story. Her story. Last time, because I know I can't hear anyone out here. Can we all stand, please? And can we say this together in this loud voice that we have, especially have served in the military? Her story. Thank you. Video. I have a video for you. Please watch. Thank you.
From America's beginning, women have answered the call to serve. Our stories of triumph and sacrifice are vital to our country's history. We serve in every branch of the military, at every level, as warriors, innovators, and leaders. The Military Women's Memorial is the only national memorial dedicated to the lives of American servicewomen. For more than 20 years, our world-class education center has brought the nation together to honor their courage, determination, and love of country. The Military Women's Memorial will bring these stories to life for a new generation. Help us honor her service.
Yes, it is.
Happy birthday, Brian.
Oh, this is great. Outstanding. Okay.
Thank you very much, Brian. Thank you very much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Nope. I stole her pen. At this time, as so many of us here in this room can attest, surviving trauma changes everything. Survivors often feel that attaining inner peace is impossible, that they are forgotten, left to their own devices. They feel alone. Modern Warrior Live is a catalyst for meaningful conversation surrounding mental health, post-traumatic growth, and the veteran experience. Through a uniquely presented narrative and music experience, the live performances and collaborations of Modern Warrior Live work to break down societal barriers by creating an understanding between veterans and civilian communities, by bringing stories of resilience and growth to the forefront. We are so pleased to welcome Modern Warrior Live, the artists, the production team, to our convention today to perform a captivating, empowering, and important show for us at 1 o'clock this afternoon, right here on this stage. The show is being sponsored by TriWest and Pharma, and therefore admission is free. You will not want to miss this. Please direct your attention to the big screens for a preview of this afternoon's performance. Maestro? Okay, we have technical difficulties, but that's all right. You're all going to be here at 1 o'clock, right? All right. It's an experience you will not want to miss. I guarantee that. Please be here at 1 o'clock. At this time, his experiences as a door gunner during Vietnam helped establish our next guest's belief that all veterans are only separated by time and location served, that otherwise we're all the same. Jim Chancellor, President and Chief Executive Officer of American Veterans Collection Incorporated, has designed a unique collection of military service rings which communicate a familiarity with other combat veterans on site. With the mantra, I know, I understand, I care, the rings represent the camaraderie of an elite group of individuals. Here with us today, please join me in welcoming Mr. Jim Chancellor. He's going to present a special ring to the VFW's National Senior Vice Commander-in-Chief, Timothy Borland. And I received this ring last year on this stage, and I have worn it every day. And every day somebody comments about that ring. It's beautiful. What does it stand for? And Mr. Chancellor, I take the opportunity to tell them what every facet of this ring means and how deeply I appreciate your gift to me. This is something that I wear proudly, and I know that Senior Vice Tim is also going to wear it proudly. It tells a story. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Jim Chancellor.
This must be Travis Mills.
Good morning, everyone. As I prepared for today, I started to wonder, how did I get here? How did I end up on the floor of the VFW, and how did you all get here as well? So I thought I'd take you on a small journey of how a young kid from Gary, Indiana became this veteran, this seasoned veteran. Let's call him Jim. Jim was drafted in the Army in 1969 and reported to Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri for his basic training. After a very ridiculous haircut and a change of clothes, the next thing he remembered was the sound of a drill sergeant. Your left, your left, your left, right. Your daddy was home when you left, your right. You get the picture. And when you first start marching in cadence, all you're trying to do is not step on the person in front of you's feet. But then, in a little while, you catch hold of things and you take pride in that. And that's, I think, when the veteran was really started to be born, for me anyway. And basic is tough. I mean, the physical challenges are tough, and the mental challenges are too. The military, they break you down, and then they build you back up the way you want to be. But man, do I have some great memories of basic training. We were in formation one time, and the gentleman next to me, his name was Brimer, and with my name being a C, I was next to him. And the drill sergeant walked by inspecting his troops, as only a drill sergeant could do, and he leaned real close up to Brimer and said, "Brimer, how much do you weigh?" He said, "About 235, drill sergeant." He said, then the drill sergeant took action and started to scream, "235? Brimer, when I'm done with you, you're going to be lucky if you weigh 135. Now you pick up that pack and you put it above your head and you run around this entire company saying, rub, dub, clank, clank, I'm a big old baby tank. And that was just the way basic training went. And then, you know, there were the good times. There were the soft times when you sat around polishing your boots and your brass and you sang old Temptation songs or maybe songs from Marvin Gaye. There were good times. There were good times as this young veteran grew into a seasoned veteran. Towards the end of basic training, the military sits you down and they tell you where you're going to go for your AIT or your MOS. And in 1969, you know, the majority of people were infantry. That's what we needed. We needed infantry. And so they would call someone's name. They would say, Breimer, 11B, 11 Bravo, 11 Bravo men infantry. So I sat there patiently, and when they said Chancellor, 67N20, they didn't say 11B, they said 67N20. And I jumped up and I said, praise the Lord, I'm not infantry. And the drill sergeant didn't even look up. He said, sit down, Chancellor, you're making an ass of yourself. That's a door gunner on a helicopter. So I thought, how bad could it be? You know, flying in a helicopter sounded pretty cool. You know, learning to keep them flying, that sounded good as well. So off I went to Fort Eustis, Virginia for my advanced individual training. And when I got to Fort Eustis, they did teach me about flying the helicopter, being a crew chief, but they also talked to me about compresses and tourniquets, how to save lives, how to fight. So when my AIT was done, they sent me home with a 30-day leave and my ticket to Vietnam. Vietnam was beyond belief. All of the fighting and scarring of our souls, it just seemed to never stop. But 13 months later, I made it home. A Purple Heart, a Heroism Medal, a helicopter crash. All of that was behind me. I had made it home. When I got home, there was a sign on the front of the house that said, Welcome Home, Jim. That's all I really needed, was Welcome Home, Jim. So after a very good home-cooked meal by Mom and the kisses and the hugs from everybody, I changed clothes and I went down to the places we grew up. And I saw my friends. Some served, some didn't serve. And as soon as I walked in, they said, hey, Chancellor's here. He's going to play shortstop for us. Hell, he might even bowl on our team on Saturday night. And I said, wait, let me tell you where I've been. Let me tell you what I've done. And they never did that. They always talked about the future. They talked about the way it's going to be, the way it was. But they didn't understand that I had a story to tell. And I knew it could never be the way it was. It's probably never been the same for you once you return home. The way it was gone for me. Then one of my best friends told me, and this was a combat veteran, he said, Chancellor, that war's over, man. You've got to let it go. I said, let it go? He said, just let it go. It'll go away. Well, as I stand before you today, it hasn't. And I'd almost bet that every soul that's sitting here, it hasn't went away totally either. The commander said, I believe that everybody is the same. And I do. I believe it. We're only the difference between us is the time you served and where you might have served. But then I'm going to go back to how did we get here today? What was our belief in a cause? Was it love of country that kept you coming back time and time again, that kept you up those chairs until you demanded the leadership of the VFW? I think it was all of those things. I believe it was a commitment to our younger veterans as well. I say it all the time. I talk to young kids all the time. I take distress calls in Indiana, and I sit across from them, and when they talk to me, if I closed my eyes, I could hear my story. They would tell my story. I hope you all, someday, some way, can put war behind you. I believe that all of us, I believe the vast majority of combat veterans are leading a healthy and fruitful and productive life. But friends, I know there are those out there that aren't. And we must continue to fight for them. Now for the final presentation of the ring from the American Veterans Collection. I have told you for years what these rings mean. And Commander Fritz had also reiterated, I know, I understand, and I care. I know what you've been going through because I've done the same thing. I understand some of the feelings you might have because I have those feelings too, and I care. You can come and talk to me at any time about the war. These words, I know, I understand, and I care, describe our Commander Borland perfectly. This could be his mantra. Sure, I could read off all of his bios about his awards and his achievements, but instead I want to talk to you about someone who would run towards the fight, not away from it. Commander Borland has led by example his entire life. It is these intangibles that set him apart. His leadership and his demand for responsibility, his love of country, and his dedication to all of us is what sets him apart. It gives me great pleasure to present this ring from the American Veterans Collection to our incoming commander, Timothy Borland.
Again, I will always cherish this.
Congressional Medal of Honor recipient Sammy Davis, he wears them. And he said the same sentence. He said many times veterans come to me and said, you know, where did you serve? And it was because
I get that all over the world. Thank you. While many of us know that combat can be brutal and unforgiving, there are a few of us who have experienced just how much of a toll combat can exact on the human body and live to tell the tale. And yet, the near full cost of war would not deter our next Beyond the Call awardee from his mission of helping his fellow veterans get beyond their injuries and experience the fullness of life. Retired United States Army Staff Sergeant Travis Mills is a recalibrated warrior, a motivational speaker, an actor, an author, and an advocate for veterans and amputees. Despite losing portions of both arms and legs from an IED while on his third tour in Afghanistan with the 82nd Airborne Division, Travis continues to overcome life's challenges, breaking physical barriers and defying odds. He is one of only 5 quadruple amputees from the wars in Iraq and Afghanistan to survive his injuries. In September 2013, Travis and his wife Kelsey founded the Travis Mills Foundation, a nonprofit organization formed to benefit and assist post 9/11 veterans who have been injured in active duty or as a result of their service to our nation. The veteran and their family receive an all-inclusive, all-expense-paid, barrier-free vacation to Maine, where they participate in adaptive activities, they bond with veteran families, and they enjoy much-needed rest and relaxation in Maine's great outdoors. Through his Travis Mills Group, LLC, Travis consults with and speaks to companies and organizations nationwide, inspiring all to overcome life's challenges and adversities. As major news networks and media outlets have shared, and they continue to share his story, Travis's motto continues to ring true: never give up, never quit. It is an honor and privilege to present the 2022 VFW Beyond the Call Award Veteran Division for Public Service to retired Army Staff Sergeant Travis Mills.
Beyond the Call Award, Veteran Division, Public Service, and Citation, awarded to retired Staff Sergeant Travis F. Mills, and special recognition and sincere appreciation of his faithfulness, dedication, and support to his fellow veterans and his extraordinary service to the United States of America. Retired U.S. Army Staff Sergeant Travis Mills' work as a motivational speaker, actor, author, and an advocate for veterans and amputees has become a symbol of hope and perseverance to millions of Americans. Through his foundation, Travis has helped wounded, ill, and injured veterans get a new lease on life and reconnect with their families in a new and meaningful way. Through his many speaking engagements, Travis inspires countless others to overcome life's challenges and adversity by living out his motto, never give up, never quit. Travis continues to remind everyone that physical barriers will never define one's spirit, and this has justly earned him the utmost respect and appreciation of the veterans of foreign wars of the United States. In witness whereof, we have hereunto set our hands and the official seal of the veterans of foreign wars of the United States, this 20th day of July, 2022, approved by the National Council of Administration, signed by Matthew Fritz Mahelchik, Commander-in-Chief, and Kevin Jones, Adjutant General.
There we go. All right. All right. Thank you, guys. All right. So I got about 4 hours to get through. So now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm excited to be here. Thanks so much for this honor. A little bit about me. I get nervous in front of everybody because I'm always like, oh, I hope I don't bomb this, you know. Because last time, you know, you got it. No, I see a lot of people checking my legs out, so I should let the ladies know I am married. It's just not, she's a jealous type. I'm from a very small town from Michigan, and I grew up there. I went to college and found out I wasn't really a big fan of college, you know, so my girlfriend back home convinced me to move back home, so I did that, and then I met her boyfriend Colin by accident. And then I joined the military because of it, so when I look back in my life, like, how'd this happen? How'd I lose my arms and legs? It's her fault. Thought you guys should know that right off the top. I was proud. I went to the service and I enlisted with the Army. I went ahead, yeah. And I'll tell you what got me, right? Here's what got me. I mean, obviously the Taliban got me, but before that, I just wanted early retirement. I just walked into it, to be honest. Now, it's kind of a sad story. My last job, I was cut off at the knees. But I fell apart at 25. It's crazy. I got these for days, by the way. But in truth, I was between the Marines and the Army, and this Marine recruiter was going hard, you know. I was like, what's going on here? And he's like, you want to be a Marine? And I was like, I don't know, you know. And then this Army guy was like, you want $24,000 signing bonus? And I was like, I do. But I said, hold that thought. And I went back to that Marine's office and said, what's your signing bonus? And he stood up and he puffs his chest out all proud. And he goes, honor, duty, respect. And I was like, awesome. But I'm talking cash money here, you know. And he's like, there's no money here. And I'm like, what idiot would join that branch of service? It's the Marines. So if you don't tell them my jokes, they don't get them. So don't worry, I'm not offending anybody. But ladies and gentlemen, I was called to service my whole life, to be honest. I was a captain of the football, baseball, and basketball teams, and part of being a captain in my small little town in Michigan was to do community service. And then I was able to go play college football for a little bit, and I played this new position. I was really good at it, because in high school, I was a fullback and linebacker, kicker even, and punter. And in college, I played the sideline, you know, and I was crazy good at it, though, to be honest, because I was there all season. Sad. And then I thought I can do better and I can be better and I want to do more, and I went and decided to join the Army and became part of the famed and historic 82nd Airborne Division. There it is. And I deployed 3 times. My first one was 15 months, and then I came back and got married to my wonderful wife, Kelsey. My second one, I was gone for a year. And my third one, I left behind my 4-month-old daughter and my wonderful wife at our house in North Carolina. I had just been promoted to staff sergeant, and I was a weapons squad leader. And we went overseas, and I had orders to take me to Fort Hood, Texas. Big Army said, take this one off. And I said, no, thank you. I got guys that believe in me, that serve under me, that are my brothers in arms. And my wife understood the calling and understood all of it. So I deployed for my 3rd time for a 9-month deployment. It just so happens I set my backpack down on a bomb. And I lost portions of both arms and both legs. I recovered at Walter Reed for 19 months as one of only 5 surviving quadruple amputees. I told my wife she should leave me in the initial days because I didn't think I had much to give. I didn't think she wanted to be with me, or she should be with me, because I was just going to be a burden. My daughter was 6 months old at the time, and my wife got offended at the notion of me telling her she should go. So she stayed, and she let me know the biggest reason was she was excited for handicap parking. So through those 19 months, I had to relearn how to use a hand that's a prosthetic. I got cool tricks, like that doesn't hurt. You think it would, but it don't. I can do this too. I learned how to feed myself again, dress myself again, embarrassingly enough, use a restroom by myself again. I got back on my feet because of the doctors and the nurses and the therapists and the wonderful staff at Walter Reed, the medics that believed that my life mattered, that worked on me when I told them to leave me on the battlefield and save my guys, the helicopter medics that worked on me, and then the 14 hours of surgery initially I went through in Kandahar to keep me alive. While I was at Walter Reed, learning all this, I realized 2 things very early on. Number 1, don't dwell on what happened. Just reminisce it. There was nothing going to change the fact that I had arms and legs missing. I would hope and I'd wish and I'd pray every day in that hospital bed to wake up from this nightmare. But every time I opened my eyes, I was right there. And I learned, stop dwelling on the past. You'll never change it. And just keep pushing forward to a better future. And ladies and gentlemen, I also learned that no matter what my situation is, I'm in control of my attitude. I have no arms and legs. But I was there with my wife and my daughter, my family. My father-in-law is here today. He travels with me everywhere around this great nation of ours because he's my right-hand man, because I forgot mine. And while I was at Walter Reed, I wanted to give back and do better. I wanted to have my new way of serving because I lost mine. I was no longer Staff Sergeant Travis Mills, leader of combat soldiers. So we decided that we were going to start a nonprofit to give back to veterans. started modest. It was going to be just care packages, and we did that. $5,000 from Kelsey and I, and we did that. And then we thought we can do more. So we bought an old estate up in Maine where my wife's from. It's a real funny story. I'm from Michigan, she's from Maine, and we got out of the hospital. I said, hey, let's go to Michigan. And she said no. I said it one more time, and she took my arm off. And she hit me with it, and she said, stop hitting yourself, stop hitting yourself. So we moved to Maine. And we went ahead and decided to bring some families out and see if it would work. And ladies and gentlemen, I don't want to get too long-winded on you, but if we fast forward to today, we have a $2.5 million operating budget. We have brought over 800 families to the great state of Maine to have this rest and relaxation, plus show them to never live life on the sidelines, to always be active in their family and always be active in their community. They come out and they get to try new things. We have dads that never rode a bike with their children, that break down and cry when they get the chance to do it on a hand cycle. We have spouses that say they've never seen their loved one act like this since before, the person they married since before they deployed. And it's been 4 years since their injury, and now they're back to their normal. And kids cry saying it's better than Disney World. And again, in the true fashion of we can always do more, be better, and do better, we have a post-traumatic stress program that we started for all veterans that have been through combat or first responders. We partner with Warrior Path Foundation, our Warrior Path program, which is out of Boulder Crest Foundation in Virginia. The promise that I make is that I'll never take a dime for this work. I'm very fortunate to be successful in businesses elsewhere. But I will keep giving back and doing everything I can. It's truly an honor to be here with you. I can't thank you enough for your service to this wonderful nation and allowing me to be part of the brotherhood and sisterhood that comes along with it. I want you guys to know that I don't think I need to be put on a pedestal because of my injuries. I did not serve any more than anybody else. So if you did serve, which I know you guys did because that's why we're here, Air Force, Navy, Coast Guard, Army, and yes, those well-dressed, wonderful-looking Marines, thank you for your service. And guys, I appreciate this honor, and I'm just grateful to be here with you. So I hope you guys have a great conference. I'll be around for a little bit. If you guys can't figure out if it's me, I got no arms and legs. So, and in closing, don't feel embarrassed to ask me anything. And let me just start you off in case you guys want to ask me questions if you see me in the hallway. I still got it. It still works. And I named my son after it. Thanks, guys. Have a great day. Appreciate it.
And then we'll do that. Okay. And now, back from our technical difficulty, I've already given you the brief introduction. So, Maestro, if you would cue up the Modern Warrior Live trailer.
If I could give anything to the ones who are hurting, it would be peace. For some, I know things might not get better. But I can't help but think that there are individuals out there that need to know that growth is possible. They need to know that society can be wrong when it assigns labels to survivors based on the trauma they survive. Why is it the case someone that survives cancer is considered stronger, while someone that survives combat is considered damaged or a liability? Forged in combat is a saying we rarely hear now. Why? We don't feel like victims. I'm not saying the road is easy. It's littered with overdoses and suicides. And each time that dull pain that comforts me is transformed into a searing pain that leaves me once again looking forward to just the familiar ache of loss. if I could go back, I would keep the violence and the gratitude, my tribe and my isolation, my memories and my grief. I think most of us would, because that journey has forged who we are.
Greetings, comrades. We have a quick administrative note. A comrade in this hall a little bit ago lost some money out of their pocket. So check your pockets. The only description was an older man that lost the money. So if you carry money in your pocket, check your pockets, and please see the sergeants unless you want to consider it charitable giving. Thank you.
Let's not forget today, Modern Warrior Live will be in Hall AB beginning at 1 o'clock. Outstanding performance. It's well worth your time. The 2021-2022 department commanders are now gathering here on stage for a special presentation. I call on past department commander of Missouri, Jim Nail, as the representative. Jim?
Good morning. Chief, you told us when we started this journey we weren't going to be a typical class. We weren't going to have a nickname. We weren't going to have a homecoming. You didn't want us buying you a lot of gifts that were just going to sit on a shelf. But you didn't say we couldn't make it ourselves. So on behalf of the class of 122 and your department commanders, and we have several here, but we have for you this plaque with all of our pins and your logo proudly engraved in the middle.
As Jim said, we wanted something special on behalf of our class, so here you go, Chief.
So I don't know if they saved the best for last or the loudest for last, or just me. Anyone who knows me knows that I'm a self-proclaimed VFW history nerd. Most importantly, our fraternal history. So on behalf of Class 122, we're presenting this membership badge. It's a reproduction and has 4 stars with a red background. This is a reproduction of what a past commander-in-chief would have worn in the early 20s and 30s. This is a one of one. I do not want to see it on Facebook, eBay. They know the joke. Every morning I'm looking for VFW stuff on eBay. It says on the rear, presented to Matthew Fritz Mihalchek for outstanding leadership, Class 122.
Well, I'm not at a loss for words. I used to get paid by the word. Come on, let's be real. Jim hit it on the head that this was never about me. This was always about the class. And for 3 years I've said, don't get me anything. I don't need things. I don't want you to spend money on things that don't mean anything. But the gifts that I've been given here, while they have little intrinsic value, unless you put it on eBay. We did see one of my coins on eBay for $39.95, so it's not a retirement plan, but if you didn't get one, you can buy one now. These items, having a pin from all of my commanders, that means more to me than all the gold in Fort Knox, than any shiny object I could have been given, because it represents the true spirit of Class 122. We were all a team. We were all in it together. And I will treasure these. I will wear this. I'm starting to look again like a Russian general up here. But I thank my team for all the hard work that they've done and the belief they had in me to lead them. But it was all about them. It was always about the team. And I accept these humbly, but this time I will accept them on my behalf. Thank you, Class 122.
Those making nominations in second, please find your way to a microphone or to the dais. Thank you. No, right there, right there. Comrades, at this time, I move that the proceedings of the Veterans of Foreign Wars 123rd National Convention be submitted to the Speaker of the House for printing as a House document in accordance with Public Law 620 of the 90th Congress, approved October 2nd, 1968, and entitled as Title 44, United States Code, Section 132.
We have a motion on the floor. Is there a second? Recognize microphone 3.
Comrade Commander-in-Chief Dan West, Delegate, Post 3413, Department of Texas. I second the motion.
We have a motion and a second on the floor. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, nay. The ayes have it.
Okay. They're all here. Some of these are changing, but go ahead and I'll call on the nominee before Commander-in-Chief.
At this time, we will go into nominations for Commander-in-Chief. For the purpose of nomination, we have past Commander-in-Chief Tom Pouliot, VFW Post 1116, Montana.
It's all right. Hold your applause. Thank you, Commander-in-Chief, national officers, council members, past commanders-in-chiefs, and my fellow comrades. I have the distinct pleasure and honor to stand before this delegation of our great organization at our national convention and place in nomination the name of Tim Borland for the office of Commander-in-Chief of the Veterans of Foreign Wars 2022-2023. With unanimous endorsement of the Western Conference, his Department of Arizona, his wife Shannon, we brought to you and promised a sincere and energetic leader for the VFW. And in Tim Borland, we have delivered. These years in the chairs as your junior vice and senior vice, he has earned the respect of comrades throughout our organizations because they have found that he seeks their knowledge, their input, and he will use their information and their input to make our VFW a better organization as we move forward in this next year. Over these last 2 years, you have seen him and you've got to know him. He has demonstrated to you his knowledge of our organization, and you have witnessed firsthand his dedication and his love of the VFW. His love of the VFW has caused him to give much of his time to aid and assist veterans and their families. He works hard at it. He sets the bar for what it is to be a hardworking member of the Veterans of Foreign Wars. Look at his accomplishments. He has earned All-American Post, All-American District, and All-American Department Commander awards, a Triple Crown Award recipient. Yet Tim doesn't credit these awards to his work alone. He's a team player. He credits his team. At every stage, he puts together a team, sets goals for them and himself, and working together, they reach those goals. This is leadership. Tim will be the same proven leader for our organization as our Commander-in-Chief. He's a national recruiter and has distinguished himself by signing 100 or more members in 1 year. That is a century recruiter. And he's done this 19 years in a row. He has the heart and passion for the VFW to work recruiting tables and bring eligibles into our organization. In all likelihood, when he visited your state, he signed up a couple of new members for you before he left. He's been a national council member and has served on numerous national committees. Tim has the knowledge and experience that will aid and assist him in serving as our Commander-in-Chief. He has demonstrated that he is not afraid to challenge any issue that he feels is not in the best interest of the VFW. Where others see only difficulties, he sees possibilities. And Tim, as our Commander-in-Chief, sees great possibilities in our VFW future. It is without reservation and with great pride that I place in nomination a man most qualified to be our next Commander-in-Chief of the VFW, Timothy Tim Borland. Thank you. Thank you, Chief.
For the purpose of a second, Cynthia Archuleta, Department of Arizona, VFW Post 9972, Arizona.
Cynthia Archuleta, Post 9972, Delegate, Department of Arizona. I second that nomination.
Are there any other nominations for Commander-in-Chief at this time? Seeing none, we will hold that open until tomorrow's business session. For the purpose of nomination for Senior Vice Commander, we have nomination for Senior Vice Commander-in-Chief. For the purpose of nomination for Mr. Dwayne Sarmiento, we have Mr. Bob Wallace, past Commander-in-Chief, VFW Post 9503 from the Department of New Jersey.
Thank you. Thank you, Commander-in-Chief Fritz, and to the national officers, my colleagues in the ranks of the past Commanders-in-Chiefs, state commanders, and my fellow convention delegates and members. I am deeply honored to represent my beloved Garden State of New Jersey and the Eastern States Conference in placing in nomination the name of our candidate for Senior Vice Commander-in-Chief of the Veterans of Foreign Wars 2022-2023, Dwayne Sarmiento. Travel restrictions this past year due to COVID have limited Dwayne's ability to meet with as many of you as he would have liked. But those of you who he has had the opportunity to meet with, I am sure have seen his passion and dedication to the ideals and principles of our VFW come through loud and clear. One thing also is certain: you never have to question where he stands on an issue. He's kind of like South Jersey Bashful. Last year, I told you about Dwayne's experience and qualifications. Navy veteran, Operation Desert Shield, Desert Storm, life member, VFW Post 5579, Gibbstown, New Jersey, where he was an all-state commander 5 times and continued to serve as the adjutant and service officer. Past New Jersey District 13 commander, All-American Department Commander of New Jersey 2018 and 19, National Inspector General 2019-2020, and he continues to serve on many post and state committees. He hasn't lost touch with his grassroots and his home post and his Garden State of New Jersey. He's a retired law enforcement officer and retired from the position of Director of Veterans Affairs for Gloucester County, New Jersey. He understands the VFW at the grassroots level, and he understands veterans issues. He understands the VFW at the grassroots level, and he understands veterans issues. Dwayne and Ellen are married for 30 years, and they are the proud parents of 3 grown children, and they have 1 grandson. His daughter Alexis is a registered nurse. His daughter Gabriel served 5 years on active duty with the United States Marine Corps and now serves in the Marine Corps Reserve. Her husband is also a Marine Corps veteran, and both are life members of VFW Post 5579. And both are using the VFW Champion GI Bill to further their education. Dwayne's son Michael serves as a Navy corpsman stationed at Marine Corps Base Camp Pendleton, California, with the 2nd Battalion, 4th Marines, affectionately known in the Corps as the Magnificent Bastards. Dwayne and Ellen, as Blue Star parents, fully understand what it means to have children serving in today's military. They understand the challenges service members and their families face. He brings these qualities to this high position. We need those qualities when we have discussions on policy and programs for service members and their families. Dwayne understands the VFW from the post level through the national level, and he understands the challenges the organization faces on all levels. Dwayne is the type of leader we need. He's the right leader for our time, and he will ensure that every day is Veterans Day for the nation, veterans of this nation. In an uncertain world, where our military could be called upon at any moment, we need leaders who can meet the challenge. We truly believe Dwayne possesses those leadership qualities, and we truly believe he warrants promotion to the high office of Senior Vice Commander-in-Chief. So on behalf of my Commander, Jay Boxwell, my fellow VFW members of the Guard and State, and the officers and members of the Eastern Conference, I am proud and honored to place in nomination the name of Dwayne Sarmiento for Senior Vice Commander-in-Chief 2022-2023, and humbly ask for your support. Thank you.
For the purpose of a second, Jeff Walding, Senior Vice Commander, Department of New Jersey, VFW Post 5579, New Jersey.
Comrade Commander-in-Chief, fellow comrades at this convention, Jeff Walding, Senior Vice Commander, Department of New Jersey, Delegate, Post 5579, Gibbstown. I'm honored and proud to stand before you the second nomination of Dwayne Sarmiento for the office of Senior Vice Commander-in-Chief for 2022-2023. Dwayne is a leader that will continue to move our organization forward. I know this because not only is Dwayne a good friend, but a mentor for me and scores of other comrades in the great Garden State of New Jersey. Dwayne recruited me into this organization 14 years ago, and I, like you, look forward to seeing his extreme energy and leadership in years ahead. I know that a lot of you got to meet Dwayne over the past year as he traveled to various departments, and you've seen firsthand his passion and excitement for this organization. You know, what you see is what you get. And most importantly, you know he's 100% for veterans and 100% for the veterans of foreign wars of the United States. Comrades, I say the following not only because he is my mentor, but my brother police officer, good friend, and I know that there was a betting window. Dwayne will go down as one of the greatest commanders-in-chief that this organization has ever seen. I stand here proud to nominate my friend, Dwayne Sarmiento, for Senior Vice Commander-in-Chief 2022-2023. Thank you, comrades.
Are there any nominations for Senior Vice Commander-in-Chief? Seeing none, we will hold that open until tomorrow. Service dog shout out to George down here front. Nominations for Junior Vice Commander-in-Chief. For the purpose of nominating Mr. Al Liphart, Mr. Charles Tony Dobbins, Department of Georgia, VFW Post 5080, Georgia.
Commander-in-Chief, comrades, I'm Tony Dobbins, delegate to this convention, VFW Post 5080, home of departed, past Commander-in-Chief John F. Quizdak, Department of Georgia. It is my distinct honor to nominate Alfred J. Al Liphart for the high office of Junior Vice Commander-in-Chief of the Veterans of Foreign Wars of the United States. Al joined the Veterans of Foreign Wars because it's a service organization dedicated to combat veterans and community involvement. His eligibility to membership was the award of the Vietnam Campaign Medal. As an infantry platoon leader, he earned the Combat Infantryman's Badge, the Bronze Star for Valor, the Bronze Star for Meritorious Service, and the Purple Heart for wounds sustained in battle. Following combat in Vietnam, these are the 10 words that have driven Al in everything that he does. Believe in what you do what you believe in. His life as a leader began as a soldier. Upon return from combat in 1968, memories of his soldiers and others who were never to come home again remained. His mind would not stop thinking about spouses, orphan children, and especially the burdens that they bear. In his heart of hearts, he could not allow those voices to be silenced and those benefits earned ignored. He looked to find an organization where his love of country, serving others, energies, initiative, inclusion, and character were matched by other like-minded individuals. Al joined the VFW in 2002. March 2018, he was inducted into the U.S. Army Officer Candidate School Hall of Fame for lifelong service. This honor recognizes individuals who have life of service to a nation and to their community that starts with valorous service through volunteerism, especially in support of military families and their members. In Rhodey's service, he volunteered untoward resources, hours, and money in making his local community and the world a better place. Rotary's international highest honor for individual Rotarians is the Service Above Self Award, recognizing individuals who have demonstrated exemplary humanitarian service with an emphasis on personal volunteer efforts and achievement and involvement in others. Al was honored with Rotary's most prestigious award, Service Itself, in 2013. Effort is recognized. Achievement is celebrated. Al's achievements as a leader in the VFW were recognized by his department several times as All-State Post and District Commander. The national organization bestowed on Al the title of National All-American Triple Crown Commander for achieving All-American Commander at all levels. Early in the campaign, members thanked Al for teaching them everything they know about the VFW. It is critical to him to impact the benefits of his experiences, of his knowledge, of his wisdom, and so he would write a book to be considered to be the basis of the Veterans of Foreign Wars for new members and emerging leaders. From the perspective of a boots-on-the-ground grassroots effort, it is titled The ABCs of Membership, a mentoring series for new VFW members and emerging leaders, and it has now been published as an independent book in accordance with our bylaws. Throughout his life, family is and always be his priority. His life hero has been and continued to be by his side, supporting, encouraging, challenging, and loving him to be the best that he could be. Their marriage and life of almost 56 years has been blessed by 2 daughters, 7 grandchildren, and a great-great-grandson. He asks I conclude with these thoughts. He began his campaign offering a vision for the VFW of commitment, credibility, and courage. You asked him to explain it, and he did that. The last 4 years, he shared that vision in person and repeatedly using social media to communicate to a broader audience. Al is someone you can call on and count on. I request on behalf of Post 12002, the Department of Georgia, and all of the Southern Conference, you affirm the confidence in him to lead this organization as Junior Vice Commander-in-Chief for the term 2022-2023. Thank you.
For a purpose of 2nd, Kimberly King, Department of Tennessee, VFW Post 10904, Tennessee.
Good morning. Yes, my name is Kimberly King. I'm the commander of Post 10904 in Tennessee and the district commander. I'm here from Tennessee, and I'm here to nominate for the high office of Junior Vice Commander-in-Chief, Commander Al Lepard from Georgia. I met Commander Lepard at a state convention in Tennessee several years ago. I was very impressed because the one thing he did to start out our conversation was asking me about my own post. Well, I have a great post. I have a wonderful post, so I was happy to talk to him about that, and he wanted to know more about that. And I said, listen, why don't you come out to what we have in August, which is what I call our All-American celebration. In other words, if our post was going to earn that title, we want to celebrate. I don't want to just go back and tell everybody they did that. We want to make it a big deal. So I invited him to come. Now, that's not an easy trip for him. That's about 4 to 5 hours trip. But he came. And I watched his impact on our post at that meeting, because the care and the concern he had just for the average post member came pouring out. He explained the importance of the All-American program, what it meant to the organization as a whole, and to us as individuals and our contributions to society. And I have to tell you, as commanders of any level, we all know how hard it is to motivate our members. I can't demand you do anything. We're not on active duty any longer. It's a voluntary organization. So what I saw him do is learn people and then motivate them through what they're good at, including myself. He's a fine man. I would ask you, before you leave here for this convention, that you take the time to go and meet him in person. You'll find someone that is fun-loving, smiles, is happy to get to know you and to move this organization in the right direction for all the great reasons. If he stands by a conviction, you will see he will not back down from that. He's strong, determined, and I cannot even imagine the leadership skills he learned under such duress in Vietnam. For most of us, including myself, I have lots of time to make a decision that concerns the district of the post. Now imagine that you're in a combat zone, people are falling all around you, and you're in charge of troops. And you have to make quick, life-deciding decisions on the spot. Somehow that has to affect you in life. With Commander Lepard, I think it's that he saw the value of each person, what they have to offer to our nation, and I think he brings it out of you. And so it is my great honor to nominate for consideration to our Junior Vice Commander, Commander Al Lepard from the Department of Georgia. Thank you.
I'll move this back up. For the record, that was not a nomination, that was a second. So the record is now corrected. For the position of Quartermaster General, for the candidate Mark Garduno. For the purpose of nomination, Deborah Anderson, past Quartermaster General, VFW Post 7356, Missouri.